and asks you, what do you bring to the table? What did you hear him just say?
I'm hearing him say shit because I stopped listening.
We've seen our grandmothers, our mothers, our great aunts give everything and get nothing. So for the first time in history, we're saying no. You don't get a free incubator. You don't get a free maid. You don't get a free chef. We're saying no, and y'all losing y'all fucking mind.
Looking for is a therapist, a parental substitute, or a personal assistant, none of which I am, or am willing to become for you. So do you want a romantic relationship or a miracle worker?
A man that is secure within himself, he has his money, he has his goals, he has great characteristics.
Right.
He's a very secure man. He will not need me to bring anything to the table.
Right.
Like, if you want to...
Guys, you're looking at the thumbnail, you're looking at the title of the video, y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active. What do you bring to the table? The age-old question that seems to be driving many of a modern woman completely and utterly up the wall. Found this compilation today that has to deal with this exact topic, and we've gone over it a myriad of times on the channel previously. But we must get active without further ado.
Have you guys noticed that it's only the insecure men that are asking women what they bring to the table?
So first things first, it's not about insecure men, it's about men who are careful.
Big
The second
true.
thing is you're saying like, oh, if the man has everything set at the table, then anything that comes is just a bonus, meaning you. Yeah, I can have everything set at the table, but if somebody comes and puts all their shit all over it, I'm not gonna want that. See how that works?
Big true.
Women get so offended by this shit. What do you bring to the table? And they're like, oh my God, like I got a high paying career. I got like a fucking Ferrari in the driveway. Nobody gives a fuck about that. No guy really ever cared about that shit. Those are your finances and we don't care.
I don't hear him say
what
that.
do we mean when we say, what do you bring to the table? Because y'all have never answered this right ever. So the answer is you. You as a fucking person. What do you bring to the table? I'm your best friend. I'm going to be there for you every fucking day through your hardest days. I'm going to support you. I'm going to be your rock. I'm going to make sure that your life is so much happier with me than being without me. And all that other shit. But this is why you guys fail this every fucking time.
You know what's so interesting about that is when he described what women tell him that they bring to the table, how it was so markedly different than my experiences.
Women get so offended by this shit. What do you bring to the table? And they're like, oh my God, I got like a fucking Ferrari in the driveway.
And that probably has to do with some socioeconomic things, because I'm just so used to hearing, I am the table, and all that other bullshit. Okay? Meanwhile, she don't look like she ate the goddamn table. She brought her appetite to the table. It's what's inside that counts, my lady, as well as your attitude. Keep going.
And asks you, what do you bring to the table? What did you hear him just say?
I've been lucky enough never to have been asked this question. Because I feel like if he's asking me what I bring to the table, that means he wants to bring this to the next level. And haven't we already had the getting to know each other part of the courtship? Like on the first few dates, yeah, I'm going to talk about what my interests are, what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, you know, like how I communicate as a partner. And I feel like he should be doing that too. And if he hasn't listened to anything I've had to say up to that point, like, why? Like, why weren't you just listening to me? That is a huge red flag. What do I bring to the table? My company. And I am here for your company because you know what? I don't need anyone to take care of me. And I don't want to take care of anyone. So yeah, I guess after this entire thought journey, he's asking, can you take care of me? Don't wanna.
A man that is secure within himself, he has his money, he has his goals, he has great characteristics.
Right.
He's a very secure man. He will not need me to bring anything to the table.
Right.
Like if you wanna talk to me, all you need is my presence.
Okay.
Like my presence should be enough. And then once we enter into the relationship and we're just gradually getting to know each other and it just happens like naturally, like you will begin to see like the things that I bring to the table. You will begin to see my character, who I am as a person.
Let me just pause it right here. Very interesting choice of words, madame, but there's a lot of flaw in what it is that you just said. The idea that a real man is not going to want you to bring anything to a table is completely and utterly bullshit. And gents, this is the low expectations that we've allowed these young ladies to run amok at while they command you to continue to pay on date number 1, number 2, and probably number 3. You heard it from her yourself. All they need is my presence. They don't value your time as much as they value their own time. Here's the thing, though, is that men are set up. We're wired to produce value within ourselves and within someone else's life. Dudes who don't have the basic minimum requirements of like a car, a place to live at, will typically stay away from dating, or the ones that do date will lie about the place that they are actually in. But the idea is that guys are used to these questions. That's why guys don't get upset when they're asked these questions, but women get upset because they're often finding that they have nothing to bring to the table. That's why it makes you upset. The society has conditioned you to just show up and that your presence is enough. And I'm here to tell you today that that is utterly, fundamentally bullshit. It's an off-putting question because you haven't done sufficient study within yourself to understand what are the capabilities within your life that would lend well to a man. And that's not your conditioning. Your conditioning is he needs to treat me like a queen and or a princess because I say so.
Or just like different things that I bring to the table. But if you're asking me from jump, I feel like you're trying to you're being manipulative in a sense. You're trying to see, oh, what is she going to say? Like, what is she like? What can I?
What does she have to offer?
Yeah, what can I learn from her? Like, what buttons will she allow me to push and not push? Mm-hmm. How much bullshit is she willing to take in a sense?
So many women.
Okay, here's the thing. I think it's an internet question. If you ask those words specifically, I do think that it is a bit awkward. But gents, what questions are you asking around that? What are you doing to understand how she feels and she thinks about different things like this in the world? And this is really if you're trying to court young ladies, not if you're just trying to date to get butt. But see, gents, listen, I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not asking these questions at all in a more intelligent way, such as asking, what do you think your role would be to the type of man that you like and or want? Or what do you think are your own capabilities that would lend well to the man of your dreams? But to me, acquiring the man of your dreams is like acquiring the job of your dreams. If you're filling out that application and you get an interview, they're going to ask you for your transferable skills and how your talents would lend well to the particular role. Marriage today should be considered a business more than it actually is considered a business today. Let's move on.
So many women say, I know my worth, but what you think your worth is not what a man finds worthy in a good partner. A man can get everything that he needs from friends and family. He can get friendship, he can get loyalty, he can get emotional support, he can get someone to be there when he needs help. He also is grown, so he can cook and he can clean and he can provide. He doesn't need any of that from a woman. What he needs from a long-term partner is peace and intimacy. And yes, part of intimacy is that dirty little word, sex. Yeah, men want that. And no, you're not obligated to give that to him every single time he wants, but it is part of a healthy, happy relationship. So if you're not willing to bring peace and intimacy, then why are you wasting a man's time?
Femininity, inspiration as well.
What do you bring to the table? What did you hear him just say?
I didn't hear him say shit because I stopped listening. I remember this video that came out a couple of months ago. It might have been a year at this point, child. You know, the days are blurring. But anyway, it was a video of this man who was sitting on the couch with a bunch of people, and he was talking back and forth with this woman about, you know, what she brings to the table or what women in general bring to the table. And every single time
Sounds like
she
at the
answered
table.
his question with something that was totally valid, he went ahead and then tried to dismiss her. He went ahead and tried to embarrass her or make her feel stupid for the stuff that she was saying. Men that ask questions like this don't actually want an answer. They're just looking to humble strong women. I would never, ever put myself in a position to answer this question if asked. Because if you fixed your mouth to ask me some dumbass question like this, you've already made up in your mind that you don't see any value in me. And who the fuck do I look like trying to denigrate myself by trying to convince you of my worth? Get the fuck out of here. Ladies, men that ask this are incredibly insecure, and this is a red flag. Men that are secure and actually interested in you will never ask this because they would have seen your worth from the jump.
For centuries, decades, we've seen our grandmothers, our mothers, our great aunts give everything and get nothing. So for the first time in history, we're saying no. You don't get a free incubator. You don't get a free maid. You don't get a free chef. We're saying no, and y'all losing y'all fucking minds.
Oh.
No, ma'am. And then y'all calling me a feminist.
You are.
If you know me, you know, like, I still want Susan B. Anthony head. So that's not even the thing. Y'all just need a label to put on somebody who's telling y'all no. We said step y'all pussy up and y'all made podcasts. That don't seem weird to you?
Oh, God. Let's go back. You are an evil, evil, evil lady who will not be happy going into the future. You are a piece of work. Therapy, mama. Therapy, therapy, therapy. Gents, please leave women like this alone. You don't even want the risk of pregnancy at all until she removes the absurd level of toxicity regarding men out of her life and her revised history of what happened in the past and how that entitles her to act like a grown baby into the future. Okay? Leave the viscous innards dry and barren, please. All right? Stop rewarding them for bad behavior. Let's get out of here.
Man asks you, what do you bring to the table? What did you hear him just say?
What I think that means is that you believe that relationships are inherently transactional, which I don't believe. And that's probably a good indication of the relationships that you already have around you. So we should not date.
Okay.
That's also just an extremely rude question. This isn't a job interview, it's a date. And if this...
Here's the thing. No, it's not a job interview, but imagine if we lived in a place where people took dating as seriously as getting a job. Imagine if we lived in that place. Like, imagine as hard that you work to get the job in a position that you are currently in. Imagine if you worked as hard at that, at dating, courting, getting the things that you want out of your life from a relationship perspective. Imagine that. Imagine understanding the guy that you want, what does he want, and having this particular checklist, and you say, well, I don't have that skill yet. Let me try to work on that. Boom, I got to go take some cooking classes. Oh, he likes a degree of femininity. I was tortured throughout my past, and I have these masculine attributes. Let me go take some femininity courses. Let me go get some therapy. Imagine that. But see, what we have today is many modern women that just flounder and just, they just, la, 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 la. So I get why it is such a conflict if a guy is to ask a question like this, or even a derivative of a question like this, because it's actually a similar feeling that you get from an employer that asks you a question about maybe your resume and ask how this component of your resume has anything to do with the job that they're hiring for, and you don't have an answer for them. You get a sinking feeling in your stomach when that happens to you, but there's a degree of expectation because this employer expects excellence. But if you translate that into a significant other, oh, can you believe what he asked me, girl? He asked you what? He asked me, do I know how to cook? I laughed him in his face. Yeah, we should all laugh at all of our guys in our their faces if they ask us some dumb shit like that. He can cook for himself. Yeah, girl, high five. Did y'all like my modern woman conversation? No, me neither. It actually made me a little bit sick. Let's move on.
This is just your way of cutting through the bullshit. There are better ways to find out, i.e. time. But if you're approaching it like a numbers game and like you're wasting your time unless you ask this question off the bat, then maybe take a break and ask yourself your own question.
What?
Because what I think you're actually...
No, this is coming from someone who doesn't appreciate busy people, right? This, to me, is another floater throughout life who's just figuring shit out as shit happens. No, that's not how successful people operate, baby. All right, let's move on.
Looking for is a therapist, a parental substitute, or a personal assistant, none of which I am, or am willing to become for you. So do you want a romantic relationship or a miracle worker?
What? Oh my goodness, mama. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you right now. You're setting up a lot of barriers for yourself for men to overcome. And you have a low-key passive-aggressive attitude when you describe these different things, but there's not a lot of upside that I'm seeing over here. Keep on working on yourself. Remove the veil of disgust that you have in what men want. I think that what happens is that there's a degree of projection when you understand that you're on the low rung or end of the totem pole, and it becomes a dirty cycle and a downward spiraling effect when you realize where you are being placed. So you set up these barriers that men have to jump over in order to win with you. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to leave you single for a long ways to go. Work on yourself, mama. All right?
So do you want a romantic relationship or a miracle worker?
The sad truth as into why black men keep asking black women what they have to bring to the table is because black women do not bring any social status to any men. Any men, black, white, or any other ethnicity or race.
I'm confused right now. She started talking about black men to black women, and it's because of social status, because black women don't bring black men's social status? What are you talking about? Okay, let's listen more.
It does not
men don't
upgrade their social status. As a matter of fact, some men might even downgrade their social status when they get with a black woman. So when a black man asks us black women, what do you have to bring to the table? What they really mean to say is, how much money do you make?
What?
So we can join that money and I can be powerful in the society for having money.
What?
Because just being with you alone as a person does not give me any social status.
I don't agree with this lady at all. Let's keep going.
It doesn't. At all. Unfortunately, us black women do not give social status to any men. Any men. And the only social status black men have is money.
When it comes to guys, what do you expect them to bring to...
I don't know what to say on this one. You know what I'm saying? I just don't agree. Sorry. Just don't agree. Don't agree.
And the only social status black men have is money.
When it comes to guys, what do you expect them to bring to the table?
8-inch dick.
Okay.
She's a
What are you guys bringing to the table?
What?
You bring the what?
Yeah, that's it.
What a dirty lady. All right, guys, that's actually the end of the reaction. What did y'all think? Yo, I got to see some comments down in there. This what do you bring to the table discussion is one that gets the internet streets fired up. So I want to be able to hear what you guys think about it as well. Don't get attached to words, gentlemen. Words are easy to come by. Questions, comments, concerns? God already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.